This week on Ninja Please. They do a quick recap of the first episode and reintroduce the Master's archenemy, Okasa, which means he'll be in this episode at some point. Anyway, unlikable hero Max is flying around in a Quicksilver MX. So last episode he pulled a motorcycle out of nowhere, and this episode he pulls this thing from out of nowhere. For a homeless unemployed drifter who lives in a van with his pet hamster, he seems to have a lot of money for stuff. The Master uses his ninja skills to teach Max how to land the, aircraft? I don't know, what do you call this thing? Max sees a car driving out of control, so he wants to catch it. Of course, inside is this week's girl he's going to try to smooch on, Alicia. She was on her way to see Dr. Venkman when the brakes in her car gave out. Max pulls her out of the car and saves her life. Sure is a good thing this car was a convertible. Wait a minute. The car now mysteriously has its top up, even though it didn't a minute ago. Oh well, don't pay any attention to that. Look over here! Crash! Kaboom! He tells her he's gonna drop her on McAllister, but she's too scared. Yep, she sure is up in the air and not on the ground next to an oscillating fan. He drops her and she knocks McAllister over. Ah, my hip! Nearby, Okasa is watching and isn't happy. This must be the dreaded business suit ninja. Alicia is rambling about what just happened.
Gone. I should have had him fixed. There's just no time. I mean, everything's always too fast. My whole life has always been like that, too fast.
I'm feeling like she forgot to say, thank you for saving my life. Alicia invites the two to a big party for her father, the senator.
Maybe I should have kissed her.
Would have been a good move.
Stop enabling him, McAllister! A bunch of mercenaries are planning a heist at the senator's house. Why are they all wearing camouflage? I didn't know bad guys had a dress code. The evil Serena wants to murder everyone. Serena's a mercenary running the sect, and she hired better mercenary Castile to help them with the liberation of their people or something. Max and McAllister arrive talking about parties. So they can just go to the senator's party without any kind of background check or anything? It's guarded by Mustache Agent! Alicia's wearing an outfit that looks like it's made out of curtains. Creepy older mullet dude, Palin, is coming on to her, but she tells him to knock it off. Seems like mustaches are part of the dress code. Max goes to talk to Alicia, but McAllister kindly removes the kick me sign. Just then, George Lazenby! Poor guy had to slum it after the studio screwed him. This is Mallory, a guy who knows McAllister. He tries to talk to him about Okasa, and then Max tries to intimidate him, but fails.
What are you doing here?
We were invited, pal.
He's about as intimidating as a chihuahua.
Like I said, pal, we were invited to a party. That's all.
Enjoy it.
McAllister explains Mallory is a spy who infiltrated his ninja school. Okasa arrives and doesn't look suspicious at all. Just then a helicopter shows up, and all the staff members pull guns and take the guests hostage. Little do they know they've got two ninjas, a spy, and this human wiener dog to deal with. McAllister lightly kicks one of them in the back before being told to stand down. The rest of the mercenaries arrive. Okasa uses his super ninja skills to slow down the camera and escape. Max fumbles his attempt to escape. The bad guys take the senator and Alicia. They begin to lead some of the extras onto a helicopter. Okasa helps McAllister by giving him a throwing star to take out one of the baddies and rescue the senator. Max stupidly runs after the helicopter and gets shot in the hand. Mallory uses one of his James Bond gizmos and puts a tracker on the helicopter. He then uses it to follow them. For some reason, Max and McAllister get arrested. They're in CIA headquarters discussing what happened. Mallory's following the machine that goes ping all the way to the evil headquarters. He then goes into paparazzi mode and takes pictures. I guess they couldn't help themselves and had to sneak this line in.
We meet again, Mr. Mallory.
Mallory goes to the police with the pictures. They tell him Castile demands 200 political prisoners be released in exchange for the hostages. The official then shows Mallory footage from the poorly composited machine. No time for image stabilization here. There's a plan to take on the terrorists. They're going in ninja style. Control wants to send in McAllister and Mallory to rescue the hostages before they send in the troops. McAllister says he'll do it on one condition.
Name it. You don't release Max Keller until tomorrow.
Please keep that annoying kid in prison as long as possible. That night at the Ninja No-Tell Motel, McAllister is getting ready for action. He puts on his best purple ninja pajamas. He's getting ready to leave when Okasa arrives. So he turns on the light? Wait, now it's off? The two fight it out in this tiny room. I don't think ninja damage is covered under insurance. McAllister uses a flash grenade to escape. Meanwhile, the CIA frees Max because of course they do. Back at the compound, turns out Palin is in on it. He tells them they're all gonna die and no one is coming for them.
Max.
Oh, please, save me, guy I met earlier today. Henry update, still the best character in the series. Max somehow found out where they're keeping the hostages, so naturally he goes there. McAllister and Mallory climb up the wall. Since Max can't climb, he does the best thing he can do, which is to get the noisiest thing possible to fly into the base. McAllister and Mallory dainty walk the wall. Castile notices the spy and the ninja, but doesn't notice the aircraft that crashed into its backyard swimming pool. Palin tells him the CIA is going to attack at dawn, so Castile starts prepping to kill the hostages and escape. McAllister lightly grabs this guy, who tells him where the hostages are. He then gets knocked out. It's like me playing Tenchu. Palin is mad Alicia won't have sex with him, so he's gonna kill her. Serena catches Mallory. These guys aren't doing the best job here. The next day, so much for we attack at dawn. Looks like mid-afternoon. The bad guys hid McAllister in a room, and he surprises them. Palin goes to kill Alicia, but Max arrives just in time to give him a sissy slap. And then McAllister arrives. They then take out the worst guard in history. McAllister rescues the hostages. Castile has a chat with Mallory. Max sneaks out in a conveniently placed shot and heads inside the house. Serena tries to shoot him, but he gets her with some ninja knockout gas. McAllister saves Mallory and delivers a pretty great line.
Who are you?
You'll never know.
Max escapes with the hostages while Mallory's stunt double climbs down the rope. Wasn't there a lot more hostages? Since McAllister saved Mallory, he now has a newfound respect for him. Max and McAllister look up to see the CIA sent them military stock footage. Alicia's talking Max's ear off, so he kisses her and says he has to leave. So another episode where he kisses the girl, but this time he doesn't get thrown out of a window. Kinda disappointing. Ah, that's the stuff. The Master, Episode 4, Hostages, aired on February 10th, 1984. David McCallum played Castile. His father, David McCallum Sr., was first violinist in the London Philharmonic Orchestra, so originally David Jr. was working towards a career in music playing the oboe. However, he shifted gears and went to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts to learn to be an actor. He has over 130 credits to his name, and is probably most famous for his work in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. More recently, he's better known as Ducky Mallard on NCIS. Jennifer Runyon played Alicia. She started her acting career in 1980's Christmas-themed slasher To All a Good Night. She's often portrayed as the quintessential 80s pretty girl in movies like Ghostbusters, Up the Creek, and TV shows like Charles in Charge. Runyon is the niece of legendary low-budget filmmaker Roger Corman, and in 1993, she was in the Jurassic Park knockoff, Carnosaur. George Lazenby played Mallory. For his first role, he was James Bond in 1969's On Her Majesty's Secret Service. At 29, he was the youngest actor to play the role. The film was a hit and was the second highest grossing film of the year. Because of this, the studio wanted to do a follow-up immediately. Lazenby was worried about being typecast, and his agent told him it would be a good idea to turn the role down, despite them offering him a substantial amount of money. He turned the role down, and the studio blacklisted him and spread rumors that he was incredibly difficult to work with. The studio still stands by these claims. In a recent documentary, they talk about how he was arrogant and was frequently trashed in British tabloids. Because of this, the actor had a hard time getting work outside of television. When he did get work in movies, it was outside of Hollywood, in things like China's International Assassin or The Man from Hong Kong, which was filmed in his homeland of Australia. The Master Episode 4 is a step up from the last one. This had a lot more ninja action, and it didn't feel shoehorned in. I was sad Okasa was barely there, but at least we got a good fight in a hotel room. Lazenby was hired to be their stand-in James Bond, which he's done more than a few times. Jennifer Runyon didn't do much aside from acting scared and kissing Max. All in all, a good episode, and probably the first time in history James Bond was rescued by a ninja.
You were right. When in doubt,
Kiss him.